order. I would like a motion for approval of the minutes of the 7/16 meeting, which were distributed via email.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes of the 7/16 meeting are approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The minutes are approved as distributed. The proof of publication was circulated to everybody on the board. Has that been reviewed, and do I hear a motion to accept that?
I so move.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, the proof of publication is made a matter of record. Also, we distributed the proof of...
You didn't get
you didn't get what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The proof of notification of surrounding property owners for board review. I would like to have a motion to make that a matter of record.
I so. Second.
Moved and seconded that the notice of to surrounding property owners is made a matter of public record. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved that it is made a matter of public record. We have two items before the Board of Zoning Appeals this evening, both pertaining to the same property. The first is a request for a variance of side yard setback at 1303 Eagle Glen, Decatur, Indiana, refer to City Code 150.045, minimum front yard. And then the second item immediately following that would be a request for a special exemption, a special exception to build an accessory building prior to a primary structure on the same lot. We have somebody here to make the presentation this evening. Mr. Cree, would you come forward and identify yourself for the board? Is the microphone on?
Kurt, is that the microphone?
Thank you. My name is Steve Cree. I live at 927 Woodridge Court in Decatur, Indiana. I'm here representing the Decatur Golf Course, Inc., known as Cross Creek. We're asking for a variance and a special exceptions to build a bathroom and a shelter for the golf course. It would be, I guess in my opinion, a good use of the lot number 87. Some of you were on the board at that time. At one time there was a lot 87, we took 60 foot. It was a 102 foot lot. We took 60 foot and put it into the street because we didn't want a cul-de-sac. I did, you didn't. But we put that street in, you can see, and then that left us 42 foot. And you do have, I read a letter that Brian gave you, and that is correct. We did trade him 10 foot because they built their house, and I don't know what the reason was, but we traded him 10 foot and agreed to keep the cart path over towards the street.
And that cart path is not represented on this view, I don't believe.
No, it's not there.
In that 35-foot utility easement.
Yeah, the cart path, the current cart path is in the 35-foot easement.
Oh.
And the location of this bathroom shelter wasn't planned that way, but it works out good. It would be after our fifth hole, going to our 6th tee, then you'd play around until when you come off of the 12th hole, then the bathroom facility would be there again. So it would be before you went to the 6th tee and after you finished the 12th hole, 11th hole, between 11th and 12th hole.
Okay. Any questions of the board members for Mr. Cree?
Could you show those lots again? The lots. So it's going to be on lot 87, Steve?
Correct.
Yeah.
86. What is 86 then? That's going to be?
That's Chronister owns two lots.
Correct. Yeah.
Chronister owns that whole lot.
He owns 85 and 86,
Okay,
all except... 10
okay, he
foot.
owns 85 and 86.
Yes.
Does 87 take up those two small parcels, the one where the sign is, and then the one that says west?
Yes,
One-
yeah.
87 is both of those.
87, and the road that's shown there was carved out of the middle of 87.
Right.
So 87 is not really a full lot of...
No,
For anything.
87,
Not for a
you
house.
would never be able to build a house on 87 now because of the street went through there.
Thank you.
Any questions?
And which way is the building? I guess I'm not following attention. It's running north and south?
Yeah.
The building?
Yeah, is it okay if I get up?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's right in here.
Cart path comes off here,
Yeah.
and the building would run like this.
So the open space would be
toward the
first,
cart path, yes,
and then the bathrooms toward the back.
yes,
So the open space would be between the sign and the new structure?
no,
No?
between the cart path and the new structure.
The open shelter.
The open
Oh, okay.
shelter, yeah.
Yes.
And the bathrooms, the entrance to the bathrooms would be nearest the street,
No.
No.
No, they would be from the north.
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 Okay.
It'd be underneath that.
Oh, underneath the shelter.
Underneath
Go,
the road.
go in the shelter to get to the
You'd
bathroom.
have to go in the
This is
shelter to get to
approximately
the
the same
bathroom.
location, and then you would go
Yeah.
into the bathrooms from this.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. There's the bathroom.
Yes. Yes.
So has everybody got the orientation figured out? I would ask Mr. Creed to sit where he is because we may have some more questions for him as we proceed.
What's the distance of the variance? What's being requested there?
16 foot rather than 25, 9 foot.
So the specific variance that is requested is a 9-foot variance from a 25-foot setback.
From the road as we see it there.
Where is the property line?
No, to the property line, you'd probably have another, it's at least 25 foot off of the road. Could be a little more than that.
You got a 60-foot.
Any more questions from the board? Is there anybody that would like to speak in opposition? Seeing none, we do have a letter from the adjoining property owner, Brian and Lori Cronister, would like a motion to make that a matter of record.
I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to make the letter from Brian and Lori Cronister, the adjoining property owners, dated August 6th, a matter of public record. To my view at this point, that is the only opposition we have to the application. Is there anybody in here that would like to speak in support of this application? Hearing none, we'll come back to the board. Do we have any additional questions for Mr. Cree?
None for me.
No.
One from Don Bergdahl, the infrastructure manager, City Decatur.
Steve, was there a sewer tap for lot 87 even?
Yes.
So you have a tap across the road already?
There's a tap. I mean, that's one of the things that makes it nice. There's
Okay.
water and sewer there.
The sewer is on the south side
Yeah.
of Eagles Glen, so I was just making sure you had a tap.
Well, it was put in.
You find it?
Yeah.
Got it.
Any additional questions or comments in opposition or support? Any additional questions from the board for Mr. Cree? Hearing none, I believe we're ready to read the findings for the variance request. And the variance is specific to a 9-foot variance from a 25-foot setback. Correct, Mr. City Attorney?
Yes.
Okay. I will read the findings individually. We will poll the board. Yes means they agree, no they means they disagree. First one, the granting of the variance will not permit any use in any district which would be in conflict with the permitted use of the district under the terms of this chapter.
Yes.
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 4 yes. It will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent properties.
Yes.
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 4 yes. It will not unreasonably increase the congestion in public streets.
Yes.
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 4 yes. It will not increase the danger of fire or of public safety.
Yes.
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 4 yes. It will not unreasonably diminish or impair established property values within the surrounding area.
Yes.
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 4 yes. It will not in any other respect impair the public health, comfort, safety, morals, or welfare of the inhabitants of the city.
Yes.
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 4 yes. It is therefore the decision of this board that the petition for variance is granted or denied.
Granted.
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 4 yes. Subject to the conditions stated herein, are the restrictions the variance, or does the variance itself cover the restrictions?
There's no, unless you have restrictions.
There's no additional restrictions. Okay, we'll deal with the variance. Let's get our signatures here before we move on to the special exception. Now, as we take care of that housekeeping, the special exception is required because this is considered an accessory structure, and an accessory structure is being built before the primary structure. However, there is no indication that there will ever be a primary structure associated with this accessory structure. Am I correct, board or building department?
And I would note, based upon the testimony of Steve Curry, that not only is there no intention to build there, but it's not possible, given the use of portion of Lot 87 for, Bear Pass, and then also the trade-off with the chronisters when they relocated the cart pass. So as a practical matter, it's not suitable for primary building.
Okay. As we go through the special exception, question to the city attorney: do we need to go through the presentation, opposition, support phase for this also?
Probably should, just for the record.
Mr. Cree, would you make your presentation to the board for your request for special exception?
We want to build a men's and women's bathroom, open sides, not open roof, for the Decatur Golf Course, Inc., which is the Cross Creek, which we're adding 27 holes, or we're adding 9 holes to make it a 27-hole golf course. Just a question, and I plan to do it anyway, but will all the restrictions of the subdivision be part of this also? So we'd need to put 250 square foot of masonry on this structure. Is that correct?
Well, it's still, unless you have an exception.
No, I mean, I'm planning on doing that. I don't think it shows 250 square foot on my little drawing, but
Okay.
we'll make sure there's 250 square foot of masonry on this.
That's what I would
But
suggest.
that would be between you and the HOA,
Yeah.
correct? Not the
Well,
city.
Not the city. That'd be when you and the association.
Okay, well, it's in the restrictions.
It's in the restrictive covenants.
You eventually, I never know, you eventually, would somebody from the city, it always says in those restrictions that, you know, they have the right to enforce, you have the right to enforce, blah, blah, blah.
Generally, I think in the past, it's always been up to the homeowners association to
Well, anyway,
enforce
we'll
the
make sure
restrictive
it's
covenants.
the 250 square foot minimum, then we won't have a problem.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. Do we have any questions from the board regarding the special exception? Hearing none, do we have anybody in opposition? Again, a question for the city attorney. Should we once again make the letter?
I would just make note that the letter of opposition flowed to the location and the proposed use, so it would apply to both the variance and to building and building without primary residence. So you just make note of the fact that the letter of opposition that's already been made a matter of record applies to both.
And I believe that's being taken care of because they're both writing furiously.
Do you have a proposed timeline on how long this building will be before you do a permanent? Or this is permanent?
This will be permanent, yeah. And
Okay.
hopefully, we'll do it this fall, yeah.
Okay. So we will want to reference the submitted letter as opposition, is the only opposition we hear. Anybody in support? Hearing none, do we have any more questions from the board for Mr. Cree? No. Hearing none, it's time to read the findings of fact for the special exception. A special exception is required for uses of such an unusual nature that their operation may give rise to unique problems. In this instance, it's about an auxiliary building or an accessory building prior to a primary structure. First, the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special exception will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yes. The special exception will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted, not substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yes. The establishment of the special exception will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the district.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yeses. Adequate utilities, access road, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yes. Adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yes. The special exception will be located in a district where such use is permitted and where all other requirements set forth in 150.263 applicable to the special exception will be met.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yes. It is therefore the decision of the board that this petition for special exception is granted or denied.
Granted.
Granted.
Granted. Granted.
4 granted. Subject to any restrictions? Hearing none. Your special exception has been approved, Steve, as well as the variance. Thank you very much for continuing to develop.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gentlemen,
What threw me.
need signatures.
Prior building to a primary.
Kurt, do we have any old business to deal with?
Before you build the house. In September, but not this year.
Okay.
Thanks.
So no old business, no new business, anything from the board to discuss? From the city attorney?
Kurt, did Keith Gerber come up yesterday or today?
not to me, but it...
Did he? Okay. I was just, he had called me and I told him, I referred him to you and Sharon and Aaron as far as what he needed to do.
Can. I'll go down Thursday, I'm out of town tomorrow, I'll go down and talk to see what Mark's got going on down there. But, you do realize he's allowed to have 10 vehicles on that property.
Yeah.
So 6 of them are his, 4 of them are customers, so it's always gonna look like a garage down there. As far as tractors, bobcats, I think it's in there that he's supposed to have in his shop.
what?
Or behind his shop, or outside, I don't know. Well,
Hey, Craig,
But as far as parking
it's
lots...
got Bill Lynch on it instead of
Those are his
the
vehicles.
across
Oh,
the name
okay.
out or
Hey, Sharon, update the file, please.
just correct.
Just strike
Just
through it.
striking, yeah, just striking.
Strike through it, write the correct name in and sign over it.
Anybody else that sign?
Might want to copy Bob Ehrman with that, and he may want to forward it on to Mr. Hess, who represented Mr. Gamble, just so he's aware of it.
Well, I need to go down and see what's
Yeah.
there
All right.
first. Another thing, subdivision
Anybody
rules
else?
and regulations. I do not enforce those.
They probably put provisions in there that says that the city may, but typically it's not obligatory on our part.
Since I've been here, I've had several occasions where whoever the president of the association will call me
Yeah,
and say, well, let's make an exception. I don't know. I'm just not gonna, it's
Right.
between the owner
Right.
and the subdivision.
typically the association board doesn't want to do it because then it creates hard feelings,
Right.
so they want somebody else to do the dirty work. And the city typically has refrained from doing
I got
that.
enough dirty work to do.
Yeah.
I don't need any more.
Thank you for the clarification on the covenants with the homeowners association. Anybody got anything else we would need to talk about? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.